Without an education, your children can never really meet the challenges they will face. But right now, many of the nation's young people are simply struggling to learn.
The assessment test known as the nation's report card found in 2024 that kids in grades 4 and 8 continued to lose ground on reading skills, and they've made little improvement in math in the years since the pandemic. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm T. Chappelle. Education experts say the continued decline in scores is associated with chronic student absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism is when a child misses at least 10% of instructional days, regardless of whether it's excused or unexcused. During the 2023-2024 school year, about 1 in 10 districts reported chronic absenteeism levels of 30% or more, and another 2 in 10 districts reported rates between 20% and 30%.
Our investigation found chronic absenteeism is often a symptom of a larger issue, having a stable home. Reporter Sierra Cummings takes an in-depth look at how the affordable housing crisis affects a child's education and how a district near Atlanta is addressing it.
The Motel off Powers Ferry Place was home for Jasmine Burse and her 4 kids.
A room that has 1 bed, so I have to decide if my kids are gonna sleep in the bed or if I'm gonna sleep in the bed.
She did her best
I cried a lot.
to make ends meet after moving to Atlanta 3 years ago.
My thoughts were ensure that I can cover the cost of the hotel, ensure that I can cover the 3 meals for today, and ensure that I can cover the gas because my source of income at that time was driving for Lyft.
As her focus shifted to food and daily motel costs, school became less of a priority.
Out of the school year, I believe they attended maybe 3 months out of the entire school year.
3 months?
Yes, out of the entire school year.
Her kids are enrolled in the Atlanta public school system, where 19,000 students were chronically absent in 2023, missing more than 15 days. Although the problem is far from new, education experts warn chronic absenteeism post-pandemic is exacerbated by an affordable housing crisis, like here in Georgia, where a minimum wage worker would need to work as many as 3.5 full-time jobs just to afford fair market rent. Jasmine could not afford an apartment, meaning her kids were a part of the nearly 1,900 APS students needing homes. Federal research released this year revealed children with an experience of homelessness from low-income families show worse academic and social engagement problems.
What do you need help with?
Jasmine says she knows it firsthand. Her oldest kids were no longer on the honor roll. Her youngest elementary kids struggled to read.
They're not at the reading level they should be, and it all goes back to being housing insecure.
Correct, because the reading, their foundation is in the kindergarten and pre-K era, and because I didn't have the time or I didn't have the energy to sit and read with them as I should because I was focusing on providing, that lack was there for them.
Parents do the best they can with what they have.
Charity Trowbridge, Director of Attendance Improvement for Fulton County Schools.
When students miss school, they're not just missing the academic work, right? Because it's the cumulative effect that becomes more significant.
And sometimes it goes unnoticed until it's too late.
Yes. And then we have major gaps.
Once the district saw some of its highest numbers of kids chronically missing class,
That was our indicator of, okay, this is an absenteeism issue that we really need to dig further into to understand so that we can better address it.
her office began individualized student plans with wraparound services like housing resources to tutoring. They focus on kids showing some issues with attendance
Doing locate, assess, connect.
long before the problems become excessive. In the last 3 years, Fulton's chronically absent rate dropped from 37.9% to 22%. For families like Jasmine's, attendance improved when housing did too.
I'm so grateful.
Grateful for groups like Frontline Housing.
We do a lot of outreach, so we'll print out flyers and go hand them out at hotels.
I'll go ahead and send that.
Program Director Sierra Showers and Director Mary Grace King
So this is the children's room.
helped Jasmine move into this Marietta apartment, all made possible through their grant-funded Motel to Home initiative.
Housing, it is a basic need. It's just as important as eating.
Just to see how much families really can grow and change if you give them the resources and are willing to work with them. It's just really heartwarming.
Communities and Schools says the earlier absenteeism is addressed, the better the outcomes for students.
It says community organizations can be part of the solution by providing in-school services, programs, and mentorships. Businesses can also help by providing flexible work schedules for parents. Also, schools can destigmatize absenteeism by shifting the mindset from punishment to intervention.